I have tried to create a strong connection between my main product and ancillary text by presenting the artist in a similar and consistent way in my media product, digipack and magazine advert. I have marketed my artist as a folk style artist in many ways throughout all products and have made a link between products by addressing the representation of my artist as a whole in each. In my music video, I created an iconography for my artist by making emphasis of her playing the guitar, due to that being a convention of this genre's music video. This is by using many shots in which Simone is seen playing the guitar, and also frequent close-ups of the guitar. Also by not only associating her with the guitar, but also her ex-boyfriend, by having the shots of them when they were happy together centered around playing the guitar. This reinforces the iconography that I have created for my artist, as it shows their relationship was based very much around the enjoyment of playing the guitar, giving emphasis to the instrument, as it is made clear that it was a large factor of what was good about their relationship. This is then reflected onto my digipack, as it can be seen that the inside cover features Simone playing the guitar, reinforcing this idealistic image of her being very stripped back and acoustic, which contributes to her star image as a folk artist and follows the forms and conventions that go with this genre. I have given my artist prominence by having many mid-shots and long shots of my artist in my music video, placing her in the centre of many of the performance shots when she is playing the guitar to signify her being the central artist. This links to my magazine advert, as again I have a mid to long shot of her looking straight into the camera showing a direct mode of address. However, this time she is slightly to the right of the image to try and follow the rule of thirds. Also, by having her edging slightly to one side, signifies how she is new to the industry, with this being her first album, and she is edging into the shot as she is edging into the industry. My artist is also given prominence in my digipack, as can be seen by the image of her sitting with the guitar, showing a long shot of her and placing her in the centre of the image to get across to the audience the importance of her as an artist through all media products. Another way in which my artist has clearly given significance over everything else is by constantly having her in colour while the background is in black and white. There is a strong link between my digipack and magazine advert, as every photo that features the artist shows this, effectively making my artist very noticeable in all of the images, and also making them quite eye-catching, as her cardigan is quite a striking colour in contrast to the dull black and white around her. Saying this, the colour of the background reflects the representation of the location, it being quite depressing and bleak. This therefore creates a link between my ancillary text and music video, as my music video also gives a strong representation of the same gloomy and depressing location that my artist is in, with shots of overgrown plants and graffiti on the walls, showing a clear connection that makes it recognisable to the audience and easy to make an association between each product. Going back to the artist's use of clothing, I have shown a clear link between each product that I have created by having my artist in the same clothing throughout, using mise-en-scene to add to the representation of my artist and making her easily recognisable between products. I have chosen to have the artist dressed in this specific way with all black clothing and boldly coloured cardigan to not only help make her eye-catching through all products, but link to the conventions of folk music videos. This is by making her seem quite quirky and as being an individual, the bold blue cardigan being her individuality, in contrast to the constant black to represent people who follow the crowd by dressing the same. Another link that is made within my ancillary text is the branding of my artist, as the same font that is used for my artist's name and album name is used on both my digipack and advert, creating a recognisable link between the two and adding to the representation of my artist as a whole. Also, the use of colour remains the same within my ancillary text, with the majority of colours used being very beige and brownish. This not only contributes to my artist's representation, but also links to my main product, as browns are used frequently throughout my music video, with the majority of shots having a brown tint, and also links to the location, as brown is associated with nature with the brown of leaves, etc. Overall creating a recognisable link between all products. When comparing the front cover of Mumford & Sons album Say No More to my front cover, the bands are shown as quite small due to being in a shop window like mannequins. This was clearly done for effect to emphasise the point of irony that they are making, due to them being where mannequins would be, but also showing individuality and personality with their clothing and instruments, etc. This relates to my front cover, as my artist is shown as small too, in order to resonate with the audience the intertextual reference of Rapunzel. This is by not only showing her from the high tower letting down her hair like Rapunzel, but also links to many other fairy tales that feature a princess stuck in the tower, hence the album name being Fairy Tale. This intertextual reference is also shown in my magazine advert, as the frame around the image could also be interpreted as the part of Snow White when the witch looks in the mirror and says, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all," showing my artist as being the fairest of them all and adding to her representation of being very natural and reserved as the character of Snow White. This shows how the fairy tale intertextual reference is portrayed through my ancillary text. I have taken a constructionist approach as my target audience, being more women-based due to it being under the folk genre and also because the song is sung by a woman, will feel empathy for the artist due to seeing her being unwillingly tied up and left completely alone. Also, they may see my artist as strong due to managing to escape, creating a positive representation of my artist. Men are less likely to be targeted due to the nature of the song and also because it is very much about love and relationships, which is something that women can relate to more. When looking at the romance narrative in general, the artist conforms to the conventions of romance by being seen as passive to the man and showing him as in control. Also, the shot that shows them when they were happy shows the man as playing the guitar and having the main focus on him. However, due to the love turning sour, the main artist is then seen with the guitar, showing that she now has power due to being alone, following stereotypes of the romance narrative due to showing her emotions and being seen as quite sad and depressed now that the love in a relationship has gone. The artist plays to the typical conventions of a woman folk artist due to having a very natural representation, following the stereotypes of this genre as described by Walter Lippmann. Therefore, she has quite a conformist ideology for the folk genre.